Hey everybody, how you doing out there? It's us here at Classic Couch, Triple Clowns. It's me, Buck Wonder, along with Doc Wagner. You see a little bit of a setup right now, and we are lucky to be joined with the president of the Rod Serling Memorial Foundation, Nicholas Parisi. Doc, you brought him on. You tell us all about him.
Well, he's more than the president. He wrote an excellent and very detailed research book on our guy Rod Serling. And I don't know if you have this one yet, Buck, but we want to get into Nick's book. We're going to be talking about the foundation, and of course we have Serlingfest coming up, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I can't let him off too easy. We've got like Mr. Twilight Zone here. I've got to ask him a couple questions.
Absolutely. We have some fun questions lined up for everybody out there watching that are zoners. Let's go. It's going to be fun because we're going to put him on the spot, Mr. Nick. That's right. You better know your stuff a little bit because they will, how they are. You know how these fans are. They're going to get all over you. We're going to ask you some not tough questions, but some opinions you may have. Let's just say that.
That's easier than trivia questions. Yeah, I'm good on my opinions. I think I know those.
Yes. Yeah, trivia questions can be tricky every once in a while.
That's right. So, Nick, thanks for coming on. We'll get into it right now. Doc, let's leave into something.
Why don't you, before we get on talking about Serlingfest, if you can tell us a little bit about what the foundation does. I know we're proud members and just got my newsletter. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what the foundation does? Tell everybody out there.
Well, the Rod Serling Memorial Foundation is celebrating our 40th year this year. It was founded in 1985, and it was founded primarily by one of Rod's teachers, Helen Foley, who was maybe his first mentor. And she was a real cheerleader for Rod Serling's work. And she believed that this was 10 years after he died. She believed that his work was worth preserving and promoting and to make sure that he was not forgotten. So she and a group of his colleagues and friends founded what was then the Rod Serling Memorial Committee, and soon became the Rod Serling Memorial Foundation. And the mission statement is that we preserve and promote Rod Serling's contributions to the arts, including his work as an orator, as a teacher, of course, as a writer. And we've been doing it for 40 years now. I just became president not too long ago. I've been involved with the foundation for maybe, I guess it's been about 10 years now. And we give a yearly scholarship to a graduate of Binghamton High School, which is where Rod went to high school. And last year we unveiled a statue of Rod Serling in Recreation Park in Binghamton, which was a big deal for us, a big accomplishment that we're very, very proud of. So thank you. So these are the things that we do.
That's fun. I have a couple things on there real quick. First of all, how cool is it to get the scholarship for Rod Serling? And I don't know how big Binghamton High School is, but what a cool thing. Like, imagine getting the Rod Serling scholarship. That's pretty awesome. I got to say that. Yeah. Number one. And also, Nick, how do you become president? Like, what did you have to do to become president? What dues you had to pay or moving up the ranks?
Yeah, well, I became a member just like you guys did by just donating to the foundation. And then once you donate, you are a member of the foundation. And eventually they invited me to join the board. So I was on the board of directors originally. And, we have elections. And our longtime President Andy Pollock felt that his time had come to an end. He wanted to step down, and so I stepped in and ran and won. So that's the simple way. And Andy is still with us. He's our treasurer now, and he's very, very involved in the foundation. But I have the titular the title now as president of the foundation.
Nice. Did he demand a recount? Whoever you ran against,
he did not. No, there were no hanging chads, no controversies. No.
Nice, good. Always a clean election. That's weird.
There was something fun this summer up outside of Binghamton, and I actually met Andy, where we had the script reading of The Happy Place, which was just unbelievable. For those who didn't know, it was pretty much locked in a vault for years. Am I right, Nick? And this
yeah.
is like the second or third reading ever of it.
Yeah, The Happy Place, for your listeners who may not know, that was Rod's first pilot for the Twilight Zone, and it was rejected. And this was when the Twilight Zone was originally going to be an hour-long show. So it was an hour-long script, and it was deemed a little too dark, a little too depressing for a pilot for a series. So Rod rewrote or canned it and wrote what we now know as the pilot, which is Where Is Everybody? And that was after the show went to a half an hour and went from there. So yeah, I was very sorry that I couldn't attend that reading. It was done. One of our board members, Kate Murray, organized that at her theater. And from what I hear, it went over really well.
Oh, it was spellbinding. And I think Andy, actually, there's going to be a quote from yours truly in the next newsletter. And Andy and I were going back and forth on Twitter, or X, I should say, and he's going to drop a line from us. So that's pretty cool.
All right.
So real quick, Nick, origins of how you became. I mean, was this something? You don't look like you're an older man, and like
Thank you.
were definitely around. How did you become like into this? Like, we have our origin stories. I mean, what is yours?
My origin story is pretty boring. It is, just the Twilight Zone was what did it for me, just about everybody else. I got into the Twilight Zone when I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, watching it here on Long Island on WPIX channel 11, and I was enthralled with the show pretty much from the get-go. Everything about the show, from the stories, the narration, the actors, the language, and of course Rod Serling's presence on screen. So I became a fanatic for it pretty quickly. And the thing I tell people is that, you may not remember, but the 1980s were a big time for the Twilight Zone. The show ran from 1959 to 1964, and it went into syndication shortly afterward. But the 1980s, you start the 1980s pretty much with the Twilight Zone magazine was running at that time.
Yes.
And Mark Zickery was synopsizing all of the episodes in the Twilight Zone magazine, and then he released his Twilight Zone Companion in 1982. And when I got that, it was like, my
Bible.
it was a Bible, and it blew the doors off of all my, if I was a fanatic before, I was 10 times the fanatic after the book came out. And then, of course, the Twilight Zone feature film came out in 1983, and then the rebooted Twilight Zone series in 1985. So the 1980s were huge for the Twilight Zone, and I became enamored with the show right in the heart of that. But what happened was many, many years later, I became involved in the foundation, and I became interested in everything else that Rod Serling had written. I wanted to really learn about everything else he'd written. I knew that he had written Patterns and Requiem for a Heavyweight and the Twilight Zone and Night Gallery, and that he co-wrote the original Planet of the Apes. But this guy wrote over 250 scripts, and I have a completist mentality. So I was like, I wanted to learn about every single one of these scripts that he had written that had been produced, and that's what ended up being my book.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that was going to be
Yeah,
what
I was going to say,
was talking about. You cover it all, especially Planet of the Apes is just that ending so iconic, and you covered it. Like I said, very detailed, oriented, which I loved.
Nick, you're obviously a writer. You're an author. Did you delve in at all to writing stories? I mean, was this an influence on you of
I still want to publish fiction. It is still one of my big time goals. I began as writing fiction, sending out short stories, and collecting rejections. Not too dissimilar from what Rod experienced. I mean, I had a stack of them. I tried a couple of novels that I abandoned. Never quite finished. But yeah, the fiction is always kind of in the back of my head, and I do want to get back to it at some point for sure.
Yeah, I write as well. I do screenwriting, but I did, and a lot of Rod Serling really, and Doc will tell you that. I mean, if you're not influenced by Rod Serling, I don't care if you're writing a love story. Doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
Well, Rod was a great storyteller, and not only was a great storyteller, but he just had such a way with words. He was so articulate, and he was articulate in writing. I think even when I was a kid, that's one of the things that drew me to the Twilight Zone, was just that I realized very quickly, these people don't speak the way people do on other television shows. These
No.
people use words that are not being said on Gilligan's Island. I mean, and that, so yeah, the
Good
way
point.
Rod Serling used the language was a big influence in me for sure.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah, you really forget that when you really put yourself in that time period, because we always talk about it. Like now, they do use words like that. They try, but yeah, you're right. You're right. When you look at what was around, and we joke about it before. It's
Sure.
like, hey, we're gonna watch Twilight Zone or Bewitched. I mean, it's a little different.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Just a tad.
And
Just
there's
especially
room,
life,
there's
especially
room
life
for
lessons.
both. There's room for both, but Twilight Zone
Absolutely,
is
nothing against Bewitched.
No. No, hey, what, Dick York in 2 episodes, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh, here we go. Was that a segue, Doc? Is that where we're going?
No, we're doing Purple Testament tomorrow, so I just had to.
Right.
Well, now I do have a question for you. Speaking of the Twilight Zone, and Buck and I were talking about this before you got on. If you had to, so many good episodes, some good, some not so good places, but if you had to live in an episode of the Twilight Zone, which one would it be?
And Doc, well, let me stop you right there, because this is a question I think we're going to propose to a lot of people out there that we might call this on the couch, a classic couch, and all these Twilight Zone people like yourself, Nick. We're going to ask them this question, and I think it's the weirdest question ever because it's just weird. But anyway,
yeah, it is
Nick,
weird.
What episode
would I live in? That's I'm tempted to say of late I think of Cliffordville just for Julie Newmar. I would live.
Let's send you back to Cliffordville, the Cliffordville of years ago, and you can start all over again. Acquire, build, consolidate. How does that sound?
I would live there just to be the proximity at least. Can I pick a part of an episode and live in Willoughby? Not the episode of Willoughby, but just in Willoughby. I would take that. I would take the fishing and the Huck Finn aspect of it. I would definitely live in that aspect of the episode, as long as I don't have to jump off a train to get there.
That would be. We don't want that.
No.
Yeah. Yes, we had this conversation. It's funny you said that, because I was like, well, it's the whole episode. I said the same thing, because I wanted to be like, yeah, I was going to be walking distance. I'm like, because I could go back and keep telling myself like what to do, and then I could change myself. If he had a limp, I'll change myself better.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I'll give you. I'll quote one of my friends and board members, Mark Olshaker. He has used this line in various contexts. He says that he once asked Rod. He knew Rod, and he once asked him, "Rod, do you ever wish that the things that happened in the Twilight Zone would happen in real life?" And Rod paused and said, "Yes, but not to me."
That is a great. That's a great quote. That is great. That is a good one. All right, so we have that one.
Yeah.
All right, so now I'm going to ask you, Nick, put you on the spot, and I'm going to go after something. I think Doc and I, and maybe this is a little commercial. I think this question, maybe you're going to go with who you like better in the Twilight Zone, Klugman or Meredith? What do you think? Boy.
In the Twilight Zone.
In the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I'm going to go Klugman. Primarily, well, I don't think I have to qualify it, really. I mean, I think Burgess Meredith was obviously terrific in Time Enough at Last and in The Obsolete Man. But the other two, I think you can kind of well, actually, he was very good in Printer's Devil, too. I shouldn't short shrift that episode.
I like that one a lot.
I like that one. But Klugman was fantastic in 3 of his 4 episodes. Game of Pool is one of my all-time favorites. So I mean, he was great in that. Passage for Trumpet, he's just fantastic in. And if you don't know the story about that episode, I think I mentioned this in the book, that the director of the episode, and I forget directors' names, unfortunately, but the director, while they were filming that episode, the director either wrote to Rod or called him and said, "Hey, is there any way we can make this into a 2-part episode to expand it? Because this guy is so good that I just don't even want to take the camera off of him. I just want to let him go and just do what he wants to do." And Rod said, "Sorry, we just don't have the budget for it." But that's how good Jack Klugman was. And yeah, Jack Klugman as the everyman, you can't.
He sure is.
Jack Klugman. Yeah.
Jack Klugman.
When I'm drunk, Baron. when I'm drunk.
And Jack Klugman was also in another show that Rod wrote called The Velvet Alley for Playhouse 90, and that co-starred Jack Klugman and Art Carney. And Jack Klugman and Art Carney were probably Rod Serling's two favorite actors. He loved Art Carney as well. He loved him as a guy, and as an actor. So yeah, and that's a great one that people should search out.
Art Carney, yeah, what a sensational.
I mean,
Talk about an underrated actor, Art Carney, right? I mean, in the sense of they take him for
everybody thinks he's Norton, but he's so much more than that.
Hey, he's an
unbelievable.
Oscar-winning Best Actor.
That's right. Yeah, Harry and Tonto, right?
Yes, absolutely. A very good movie.
Yeah, what a fantastic, and the Christmas one there.
Of course. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, he was crying. It was so good. He was crying.
He was actually really
Do you have an underrated episode, Nick? Like something that maybe doesn't get all the play, like Monsters or in Walking Distance?
The one I usually jump to is one that Rod did not write. It's called The Trouble with Templeton. It was written by somebody who wrote only one episode of the series, and his name always escapes me. He starts with an initial Jack Newman. Jack Newman is his name, and it's a time travel episode, very Serling-esque, about an actor who feels like he's past his prime and he's got all these young kids around him, and they don't quite have the same sentimentality as he does, and he tries to go back in time, and his old version of himself kind of of his friends push him back into his own time. Say, you don't belong back here, you belong in your own time. And it's a sentimental episode, but it's very, very well done. And that's a great one.
He was an actor, right? He was an actor.
Yeah.
Right? He liked to write about actors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which definitely makes sense, right? The aging actor, 16 millimeter,
Sure.
It's what he was around, right? Well, I guess.
Yes. Right.
All right. Well, we danced around a couple things. I know we teased Serlingfest, which is coming up September 18th, 19th, and 20th. 19th, 20th, 21st, correct?
Correct, yes.
And just a couple weeks away. You'll see me. I'll just wave at you from the crowd. I know you're going to be the master of ceremonies, but tell us about Serlingfest and what's happened in years past, what's going to go on this year, for those who haven't had tickets yet, or those who are coming, and give them a little sneak peek.
Well, we've been having a Serlingfest every year since 2019. 2017. I always mix up the dates, but we've been doing it for a while. Let's put it that way. And every year, we've been following pretty much the same formula, at least for the past handful of years. And that is that on the Friday night, we're at the Forum Theater in Binghamton, which is a beautiful originally an old vaudeville theater that we have a film festival, essentially. So we're going to be screening a few things on the Friday night. The Friday night, we will be screening one of the hour-long episodes called On Thursday We Leave for Home, which many believe is the best of the hour-long episodes. And that's going to be introduced by Joe Dougherty, who is an Emmy-winning writer and who wrote a book about Rod that was just published fairly recently called Rod Serling at 100, One Writer's Acknowledgement.
Fantastic.
It's a great book, and he will be there, and he'll be talking about that episode and some of the themes of that episode. Frank Spotnitz, and Frank Spotnitz, the producer of The X-Files, The Man in the High Castle, and a few other things. He's going to be with us this year, and he's going to be introducing an episode of The X-Files that will be screening. And this will be, I think, maybe the first time we're showing something, pretty much the first time we're showing something outside of that Rod didn't write. And the reason we're showing it is because this particular episode is explicitly inspired by the Twilight Zone. I mean, lots of X-Files episodes were kind of sort of inspired by the Twilight Zone, but this one is about a lost Twilight Zone episode that only Fox Mulder remembers, and you can't figure out why nobody else remembers this episode.
Wow. And
it's a really cool episode. It was from the 11th season, so it was way down the line. But for people who haven't seen it, yeah, it's definitely worth watching. It's a really nice tribute to the Twilight Zone. So we'll be showing that. And on Saturday, it's an all day from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. All different events. We have a writers roundtable where we'll be able to ask questions of all of our guests, and our guests include Anne Serling will be there. Obviously, I will be there. Mark Olshaker, who is the co-author of Mindhunter, that became the Netflix series. He will be there. Mark Dawidziak, who has written a dozen books, including Everything I Need to Know I Learned in the Twilight Zone, will be there. I know I'm missing Tony Albarella, the editor of the As Timeless as Infinity Twilight Zone script books, will be there. Amy Boyle Johnston, the author of Unknown Serling, will be there. So this is like the biggest collection of Serling experts you're ever going to get in one place.
Amazing.
So we will all be doing certain types of presentations. I'll be doing a presentation about the enduring impact of Rod Serling. So I'll be talking about some of the more recent references to Rod Serling and references to the Twilight Zone that have shown up in movies or television or what have you. And it's a fun day. We try to do academic stuff, as well as screenings, as well as trivia, as well as fun stuff. So we really mix it up on the Saturday. And then on Sunday, we'll be outside of the Forum Theater. We're going to be at Recreation Park where the statue is. And Sunday is a free day. So anybody who's in town can come and check it out on Sunday. We're just going to be gathering at the park. We're going to be doing some presentations at Rod's statue, so a little trivia. And we're going to have a band playing at the bandstand at noon. That's the way we're going to end the day. So it's going to be a really fun weekend. I'm really, really looking forward to it.
And the name of the band is classic.
The name of the band is Mr. Denton on Doomsday. They are a hard rock and metal band that is very cool. They do some Twilight Zone inspired stuff, and they asked if they could join us. I said, absolutely. I jumped all over that. And so this is going to be the first time we're going to have a band playing in the bandstand.
That's a cool name, even if it wasn't a name of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
People that don't even know Twilight Zone, they'd be like, that's a cool name of a band. I want a T-shirt. I mean, it's
hopefully they'll have some. Yeah.
Right. I know Doc will be there. I'm in Florida, so it's a little hard for me to get up there. But Doc will be there, I believe.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's your birthday.
On Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, you're not going to be there on your birthday.
Friday's my 50th birthday. Mrs. Doc has other plans.
Well,
yeah, to not be around him probably.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Headed down to the Forum. Was actually up there this past weekend, just making sure I know where to park and everything. But yeah, Rec Park is beautiful for those who have not been there. It really, I put a lot on my Twitter feed that it's like stepping back in time with a free carousel. The Twilight Zone inspired theme carousel is kind of awesome.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out, everybody. I mean, if you're watching this right now, you're probably into the Twilight Zone enough. And I know a lot of people are in the Northeast. And if you're not, go to the Northeast. It's pretty cool, especially this time of year. And it's definitely the best time to go.
Love colors, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely nice, the weather and everything like that. I'm a New England guy, so I know that deep down. But so Nick, how is there where can they go get tickets and things like that? Could you let me know? So
RodSerling.com is the place you can go for tickets, for the schedule, for everything. RodSerling.com. Tickets are in advance. They're $40 for the whole weekend, so I think it's a pretty reasonable event. Or you can get tickets for one particular day or the other if you'd like. And also just check us out on our Facebook page. We're always posting updates and in things in advance of the event. So but RodSerling.com is really the place to go.
And how about your book? Where can we get that?
The book is available everywhere. Amazon is a nice, easy place to get it, but Barnes & Noble, and if they don't have it, they can certainly order it for you. It was published in paperback last year. It was published in hardcover earlier, and it's published by the University Press of Mississippi. They did a really, really great job with it. And it's available anywhere books are sold, as they say.
Nick, you might want to give the name of the book real quick for us.
Oh, yes, please. The book is called Rod Serling, His Life, Work, and Imagination. And as Doc mentioned, it's a deep dive. It's a deep dive into everything that Rod Serling ever wrote that was published. So right from the very first show in 1950 through the Twilight Zone and through everything he wrote after the Twilight Zone.
All right, great. I'm going to try to put it up, I'm sure, hopefully on the screen when I do some editing right there. And hopefully I can put the link up there as well. But yeah, and Nick, it's not available on Audible because Doc is prepared to do it. You heard how we do the intro. Do you want him to do the whole book?
I might reach out to you, Doc. Yeah, no, it's not available on audio. I have not done the audiobook yet. So yeah, I may employ you.
It'll be a long audiobook.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Thanks, Buck. Stay down there in Florida. We don't want you at the Serling. We don't want you at Serlingfest.
I wish I could go.
But actually, it's they I saw on Facebook and Twitter, we have people coming from something like 20 some odd states and 3 or 4 countries. It's pretty wild. So it's going to be a huge event.
We attract people from everywhere. Yeah, this year we had people coming from Australia, from England, from Canada, and yeah, something like 20 different states. So yeah, it's always a worldwide event.
That is awesome, and I know Doc's going to get us some footage to put here. I'm sure. I hope. And
if I can figure out how my cell phone works.
And yeah, this is true. Doc is the oldest 50-year-old you've ever met, by the way, when it comes to technology or anything. This is true. Nick, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. When we do our show, we do, I don't know if you know, but we do casting calls, who we'd cast in the shows like nowadays. We do symbolism of it. We do everything. We break down fun facts of it.
Yeah.
We'd love if you could join us for even one of those segments at some point. And I think you bring in your knowledge, it'd be a lot of fun. And
I'm open to whatever you want to put me through.
yeah. After the dust settles on Serlingfest, we're season 1, so we're plugging through. But yeah, we have fun with it. Buck puts a lot of clips in, funny clips in, makes fun of me constantly.
It's easy. You make it easy. But Nick, is there any? Let me ask you real quick. Is there any one around season 1 or early season 2 or end of season 1? Anyone you'd want to do?
Well, end of season, so you're already past walking distance.
We're at Purple Testament now, actually.
Purple Testament. Let's see. End of season 1 would be, I'm trying to, in terms of the timing of them.
We still got Monsters.
Still got Monsters. Yeah, I mean, Monsters is always one that I can jump in on. That's I've only seen it a couple hundred times, I think. So
it has a little some current events.
Oh yeah. No.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, Monsters. We'll pencil you in, Doc. Pencil Nick in for Monsters, and we can do that. If you could.
Yeah, we still have a couple, but yeah, we'll be in touch, and that'll happen way after Serlingfest. So,
all right, great.
Now I have your email. It's all downhill, Nick.
I have to change it.
Bother me as much as you want. Don't worry about
it. No, well, I can't
wait.
I can't wait for Serlingfest, and I got to get Buck the book. So,
okay,
yeah,
all right,
absolutely, Nick. And yeah, check it out, everybody, for real. That sounds like a great time. Sounds like you're gonna have a great turnout, and it's got to be a lot of fun.
It is. It really is. It's, you get together with all these like-minded people who know all of your references and know all the language that you're speaking. You're speaking the same language, so it really is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And again, especially when you're surrounded by these people like, Ann Serling, and Jody Serling will be there, his other daughter. I mean, I don't think she's presenting, but she'll certainly be there. And Mark Holshaker knew Rod. And so you get you can ask these people firsthand questions about what it was like to be around this guy, and so it's a great event.
Very surreal, I'm sure, for a lot of people, because he's such an imaginary character. He's like Walt Disney. Yeah, he really is. I mean, it's that
really, yeah.
He's a whole, he's an whole entity of himself. Like it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Doc. Anything else for Nick?
No, we've taken up too much of his time. I told him it was going to be a couple minutes, and now we're about a half an hour. We'll let this man go back to his family.
Okay.
And
thanks,
Nick,
guys.
Can't wait. That's September 19th, 20th, and 21st, Serlingfest in Binghamton, New York.
Definitely check it out. Nice area too. I mean, it's a beautiful area. I've been out there many times. Get out there. Be a lot of fun. Check it out, everybody. So for us at the Triple Clowns Classic Couch, sitting on the couch, Nicholas Parisi and Doc Wagner. But Nick's on the couch right now, and he talked to us long enough. He's going to need to sit on a different kind of couch after this whole interview. But for us, thank you, everybody, for watching. Check out Serlingfest, rodserling.com. Go there, get your tickets if you haven't got them yet. Have fun. See you later, everybody.